One of the questions that frequently comes up during our career discussions here at the Medical Hub is this: what non-clinical opportunities exist for doctors in Kenya? Because traditionally, when someone studies medicine, the expectation is very clear. You become a clinician, you work in a hospital, you run ward rounds, you see patients every day. But here is an important reality that I would like to share with us: that medicine is bigger than the hospital. That medicine is bigger than the hospital. And one of the largest non-clinical career spaces available to you as a doctor today is the pharmaceutical and the healthcare industry at large. And let me explain what this actually means. The pharmaceutical industry includes the multinational pharmaceutical companies, it includes the medical device companies, it includes the diagnostics companies, it includes the healthcare technology firms that you know, it includes the local manufacturers and distributors of pharmaceutical products in the country. All these organizations, they need doctors at different capacities, and they need doctors not necessarily to treat patients directly, but to guide how healthcare solutions are developed, how they are communicated, and how they're implemented. And one common entry point for you as a doctor in this space is the medical advisor or the medical affairs role. And here, you as a doctor, you'll be involved in interpreting clinical evidence. You engage healthcare professionals scientifically. You support ethical use of medicines through these particular roles. You help translate research into real-world clinical practice. You become the bridge between science and healthcare delivery. And some doctors also enter through scientific engagement or commercial medical roles, and they'll explain a bit more on that. And of course, it's also important to clarify something, that this is not simply about sales. It's not about sales. Your medical training will allow you to discuss clinical trials. It also enable you to discuss or to explain treatment outcomes, to support evidence-based decision making, and of course, your training will enable you to bring credibility and scientific depth when you're performing your sales role. And from there, your career can now shift or move into something different, and that is product management. And in product management, you'll be involved in strategy development, you'll be involved in understanding disease markets, you'll be involved in launching therapies, you'll be involved in training sales streams at national level, regional level, or even globally in the different pharmaceutical companies. You'll be involved in planning healthcare impact. And as a product manager, it will combine your medicine knowledge, your leadership skills, and also your business thinking or your business knowledge. So that is about product management as one of the roles you can explore. The other role you can explore in the pharmaceutical industry is clinical research and medical strategy supporting. And in this case, you'll be looking into clinical trials, real-world evidence studies, research collaboration, investigator engagement. All these are packaged into that particular role. And many global innovations, they pass through doctors who work in industry roles. Another important area that perhaps you may consider exploring is what we call pharmacovigilance and drug safety. In the country currently, of course, not many doctors or those with a background in MBChB have explored that space, but it's an opportunity where you can put your knowledge and skills into practice. And here, you will help to monitor medicine safety after products have reached the market. You'll evaluate adverse events of products. Also, you assess clinical risks of the different therapies that are available in the market. So basically, you protect patient safety at the population level. There are also other opportunities such as the market access opportunity. We have health economics, we have government affairs, we have medical training, we have clinical education. All these are roles that you can explore within the environment of pharmaceutical industry. So these roles, they influence how treatment actually reach patients at a large scale. Now, let's address something really honestly that I think you should know before even you begin exploring these opportunities. And this is the reality, that many doctors, they hesitate to explore industry roles because maybe they feel they are leaving medicine. But that is not true. That is not factual. You are still practicing medicine, only that you're practicing at a different level. So instead of treating one patient at a time, You'll be helping to shape therapies that are used by thousands or even millions at a single time. Another reality that maybe I'll need to shed light on is that the pharmaceutical industry is very competitive, and your MBChB or your primary degree alone is not enough to help you grow in that space. You need additional skills such as communication skills, you need presentation skills, you need strategic thinking skills, you need an understanding of the healthcare systems, how it works. You need to be open to learning business concepts. So your degree, your primary degree, it will open the door for you, but your adaptability, it will determine your growth within the industry. And interestingly, many senior healthcare leaders globally that you know, including CEOs and policy leaders, they started within the industry environments. And because industry, it will expose you to healthcare systems, innovation, strategy, leadership. So if you're a doctor considering non-clinical pathway, especially here in the country, in the pharmaceutical industry, it is one of the areas that will open you up to a space that will give you an opportunity to scale your career very fast. But it requires you to be very intentional, and you must position yourself very deliberately. You need to learn beyond clinical medicine. You need to understand healthcare ecosystems. You need to build transferable skills. So non-clinical medicine, it does not mean that you're abandoning your training. As I've mentioned before, it means that you're expanding how your training creates impact. If this pathway interests you, I would like to ask you to drop your question in the comment section below. And in our next session, we can discuss how you as a doctor can enter the pharmaceutical industry even without prior experience. See you in the next video.